So the Superstar Shake-up is next weekend. And if any of you are unfamiliar with the Superstar Shake-up, it is when certain Raw superstars and certain SmackDown Live superstars switch over brands. And with that, this will be me predicting it. So there will be Raw, there will be SmackDown, and then there will be NXT. Not really 205 because a lot of the figures I have of 205 Live superstars, they are either released or gone. So let's just start this off. So the guys that I have for Raw are Elias, the Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor, Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, and the Universal Champion Seth Rollins. Now, my SmackDown Live superstars are much bigger for some reason. So, for SmackDown Live, we have Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and these guys just won the tag championships. Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Andrade Cien Almas, Samoa Joe, Xavier Woods, Big E Langston, or Big E I should say, the Phenomenal One AJ Styles, and finally the WWE Champion Kofi Kingston. Now, Raw is much smaller for some reason, and I have no idea why. But SmackDown, I have a lot of their superstars, so either way, let's just shake this thing up. So, before I do start this, though, there is one more list of superstars, and this consists of either free agents, returning guys, or, I'm not sure what the third one is. Maybe part-timers coming back. So, with the part-timers and all that coming back, we got John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Sami Zayn, Aleister Black, Tommaso Ciampa, the NXT champion Johnny Gargano. Trying to find other people. Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, Roderick Strong, who is representing the Undisputed Era, and Ricochet. So I'm just going to double check and make sure, because I don't think there's going to be anybody else getting the call up or returning, because Kurt Angle did retire from in-ring action, so looks like we may have the advantage. So here are the three piles. They're Raw, SmackDown, and then the sort of free agents and NXT call-up. So let's just start booking this Superstar Shake-up. So obviously, the champions that aren't going to be switching brands are the Universal Championship, the WWE Championship, the Raw Tag Titles, and the SmackDown Live Tag Team Titles. And actually, to be honest, I actually do have a set of Raw Tag Team Titles right here. I don't have SmackDown, and that's because I haven't really picked up any of the figures. I think one of these I got with this Seth Rollins. The other one I got with this SummerSlam Seth Rollins. The women's titles won't really change hands because Becky Lynch is the champion. So, again, it won't really make sense. So, again, let's just start booking this. So, obviously, like I said, the tag champs are not going to change hands. So, the Hardys aren't changing brands. And Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins are not changing brands. It was I honestly kind of forgot the Raw Tag Team Champions for a sec. I wanted to say Revival, but no, and fuck the Revival. So, again, like I said, Rollins and Kingston are going to stay, so they are not leaving, but I keep hearing rumors about this, and I seriously hope it's not true, that AJ Styles might go over to Monday Night Raw. I mean, it would be good for him, but he has done a lot on SmackDown Live. And keep in mind, though, SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built. So, it would make sense for him to stay on SmackDown, considering, like I said, it is the house that AJ Styles built. But Raw just wouldn't make sense. So, as much as I would hate this, though, and I always say this to Cloud Kid, that if AJ Styles ever goes to, or not to SmackDown, if AJ Styles ever does go to Monday Night Raw, that whole AJ Styles collection up there is going to be set on fire. But that's a joke. Or maybe not, you never know. So, I want to say AJ would maybe stay on SmackDown. I wouldn't see them letting him jump brands. Also, I did throw in Dean Ambrose because I still think that he's still employed with WWE. I feel like him leaving is a shoot, because you kind of got to think about it, though. When somebody's leaving, they don't just come out with a statement saying, like, this person's not going to re-sign their contract at a certain date, so they're going to leave. I still think that Ambrose is still signed with WWE, because don't you think by now that they would have released a statement saying WWE has come to terms on the release of Dean Ambrose? And I've checked, they have not done that. Plus, the whole wrestling world would be all over it. So, I still think Ambrose is still employed. I think he would still stay on Raw. Next, I do have only one figure of the Undisputed Era, and that is Roderick Strong right here. This will be a custom for Weekly Customs, not sure when, but he's supposed to represent the entire Undisputed Era. I love Undisputed Era a lot. I do want to get the figures, though. I saw Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish for cheap, but Adam Cole, damn, like $27 just for an Adam Cole figure? Hell no, it's cheaper just to make a custom, which is what I did here. So where would Undisputed Era fall into play? Well, on Raw, you got tag teams like The Revival and the current champions, and Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and I'm not really sure who else is on there. Then you got SmackDown's division that has Sanity, The Bar, The New Day, I'm not sure who else, Gallows and Anderson. So, I would think maybe Undisputed Era could actually go over to Raw, because maybe they could split up and become singles competitors. But actually, it would kind of make sense for them to jump ship to SmackDown. And here's the thing, though I love SmackDown, I'm not going to give them all the advantages. So next we got Sami Zayn here. He did make an appearance on both shows. He did wrestle on Raw, and then he just came out on SmackDown and said it's not worth it. So I think it would maybe make sense for him to go to Raw, considering he did come back from injury and then went over to Raw. And if you have Sami Zayn on one show, then you kind of got to have Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens on that show. So, really, Kevin Owens just came back and he really did nothing on there. He did this nice little face turn, and I think maybe he can go back to Raw. He hasn't really done anything much on SmackDown other than come back. So, I think Kevin Owens would definitely... I don't want to say maybe make an impact on Raw, because he really wouldn't, but it would make sense, though, because Sammy would be on there, and SmackDown's going to have a lot of guys on there. I think the next one is Brock Lesnar, and nobody really cares where he winds up next. So, John Cena, really, he's a quote-unquote free agent, so he can wind up anywhere. Next, Aleister Black, the Dutch Destroyer, the former NXT champion. I love Aleister Black, and for some reason I keep having him team with Ricochet all the time. Yeah, this figure's really worn out. I can't wait to get the one that Mattel's going to release. So, this is... it's kind of hard to describe, though, but both of them could go either way. Aleister can go to Raw, Ricochet can go to SmackDown, or vice versa. Ricochet can go to Raw, and Aleister can go to SmackDown. Really, it's kind of a hard choice, though, because they can make an impact anywhere on these brands, so it's kind of hard to choose between the two. So, I'll just leave it at that. Next one, we have Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They did make their appearance on the main roster, but honestly, I want them to stay in NXT forever because I think Johnny's champion now, and Ciampa's, injured. So if they were to get called up, where would they go? It's sort of like the same thing with Alistair and Ricochet. They can make an impact anywhere. Because think about it, Johnny Takeover is main eventing every single takeover so far, and he's putting on 5-star matches. So really, it's like the same thing with these guys. They could wind up on either show, and then it makes it good. Next one we got is Bray Wyatt. Again, it's one of those things where, because they showed vignettes of this weird puppet thing on Raw, and I had a feeling that it'd be Bray Wyatt, because if you guys remember when I went to that house show, Bray Wyatt did return, and for some reason, he's just not on TV. He's doing all these house show returns. So I think Bray Wyatt would be a nice little return with that, and honestly, I think that he would be best on SmackDown, only because you'll see where I'm going with this. So now that we got like all this split up, except for these guys, because I think maybe they could. Okay, Ricochet and Alistair, they can't go back to NXT now, but definitely Tommaso and Johnny. So now that we have the call-ups and the free agents figured out, though, now let's really start having some fun. Braun Strowman. Now, I always love this figure because look at this. This thing is freaking huge in my hands. Like, look at this. It's like one of those old Jax figures. Now, before I go on, I do want to state that they have re-released this. They keep re-releasing Braun Strowman figures, and it's pretty much that. I don't remember which one they re-released it with. I think they did that with his upcoming Elite. I don't remember, but I don't think it was the Top Talents. Not sure. It may have been Top Talents with the different head scan. I don't know. But one of the things that does bug me about this figure is that the hand is really, really loose. So, I love Braun Strowman, though, but he's not really doing anything on Raw. He has not become a Universal Champion. And now would be, if he were to stay, now would be a good chance for him to go up against Seth Rollins, because I think it would make a pretty good match, have Braun dominate. And think about it, though. Rollins took out Brock Lesnar. He burned down Suplex City, so maybe give Braun the championship. But if not, then have him jump ship to SmackDown, because not only would it help SmackDown in Survivor Series, but you think about it. You have Bray Wyatt, you have Eric Rowan, and if Luke Harper comes back, hopefully him. Let's see, who else we got on here? Shinsuke Nakamura. I love Shinsuke Nakamura. He was a great addition to SmackDown Live, and he's been there ever since his debut. He has not gone over to Raw, but honestly, I think it's time for the King of Strong Style to maybe jump ship over to Raw, because he's done pretty much nothing on SmackDown Live. He made his debut, he won the U.S. title, he fought AJ in that WrestleMania Dream Disaster, because honestly, that match was horrible. That would never top their New Japan match. But really, though, Shinsuke really did nothing on the main roster, or not on the main roster, but at least against AJ. The first match at Mania, okay, but they kept milking it, and it just felt worthless afterwards. Because you also got to think about it, though, too. They had them fight at Backlash, Money in the Bank, Crown Jewel, WrestleMania, and then on a SmackDown. So, really, they've just milked that cow too much. I'm trying to think who else could be on there. Randy Orton, maybe he could jump ship, because, he did lose to AJ, so it would make sense. Now SmackDown Live's the house that AJ Styles built, so maybe Randy's so pissed that he just RKO's AJ and then leaves and goes over to Raw, because, really, when the brand split happened, though, Randy, I think, went to Raw and SmackDown and all those other crap back in, 2009 or something. And then from there, he made an impact when he was younger. So, really, if he were to go to another show, it would make sense, though. It's really, both of those shows are Randy Orton's show. Next, I think... Oh, wait, actually... I think these two could actually switch, because it would make sense, though, because it has been done before. So these two are the current mid-card champions. Samoa Joe's the United States champion, and Finn Balor is the Intercontinental champion. So I think they could switch. Maybe Joe could go over to Raw and Balor on SmackDown. Because you think, with SmackDown, you have AJ, you have Gallows, you have Anderson. So maybe a nice little Bullet Club reunion. And Samoa Joe can go back to Raw, where he could Coquita clutch pretty much anybody. Maybe he can have a nice rivalry with Randy Orton. I'm trying to figure out if there's anybody else who could maybe go over, because really though, there's not really anybody else here that could go over that I feel like would be a great addition. The Hardys, if they didn't win, yeah, then maybe they can go over. But I think another guy that should definitely jump ship is Andrade Cien Almas. I know he's called Andrade now, but really, if he jumps over, that's fine though, because he hasn't done anything on Raw, or on SmackDown. But here's the thing though, when guys like him, who were NXT darlings, go over to the main roster, the bad thing is that they just get plain buried. So I think Andrade, maybe to Raw, they'll turn him into a jobber. I don't know. But I don't think the New Day will win, or the New Day won't leave. So I think that might be it. I'm gonna double check though. So now I think that is it. I think that is it for my Superstar Shake-up. Pretty much now, this is Raw. I'll go over the list again. For Raw, after the Shake-up, I think it'll be Joe. It'll be Randy, Sami Zayn, Andrade, maybe Ambrose, because I feel like this is just work. Kevin Steen, Shinsuke Nakamura, Roman Reigns, Bobby Roode, Baron Corbin, Jinder Mahal, and Elias. But actually, I feel like before I end this video, I think Elias, maybe he can go over to SmackDown, but really, he seems more fitting on Raw, so maybe leave him there. And then you got Seth Rollins. And now Raw, or SmackDown after the Shake-up, I hope, will be the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Luke Gallows, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, Xavier Woods, Undisputed Era, AJ Styles, Big E, and the WWE Champion, Kofi Kingston. So that is my Superstar Shake-up. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Who do you guys want to see jump ship? Do you want to see certain superstars go over to Raw? You want to see certain superstars go over to SmackDown? But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Who do you want to jump ship? And see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.